Yo, let's roll. The Friday Night Freak Show has begun. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the patrons on this Friday night edition of the program. We appreciate your patience. And we'll be with you until a little after midnight here this evening. A couple of hours, final show before the football. I haven't figured out what I'm going to be doing tomorrow yet. I told you guys moving forward, you know, there'll be some Saturdays that are dark, or maybe we'll mix it up. We'll do shows Sunday sometimes, but I haven't figured out tomorrow's game plan yet. We'll probably give you a couple of hours. We might do. We might watch the Chief Colt game here and do an earlier afternoon edition of the program. I don't know. I do know that I just took the Portland Trailblazers, minus 6 points. I laid 15 with the Golden State Warriors. Not something I would normally do, but we'll find out. We'll find out whether we pay the price for this or not. And I took the over in the Bulls and the Warriors game. Listen, the last time that the Warriors played the Bulls last month, they put up 149 points. The Golden State Warriors drilled the Knicks the other night. I think the Warriors realized they got to start getting this together a little bit and start winning some games. So, you know, we had a really good night last night. All those late night picks won. The college basketball, Santa Clara, and you know, the over. San Antonio ended up winning the game. All that stuff came in. So it was a good night last night. Tonight it's been a little frustrating. I'm done with the money line parlays in the NBA. I did one a couple of weeks ago, last Friday night, and we lost because Oklahoma City Thunder or whatever, man. And me and Cam talked about it. There's always one fucking game you're going to get screwed with these stupid money line parlays. I didn't like the NBA card tonight. They were all big favorites. So I was like, I'll put a parlay together. And of course, the Philadelphia fucking 76ers lost to the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Like 13-point favorites. I tell you, the Hawks have been a thorn, man, this week. They nearly beat the Raptors the other night. They hung with someone else earlier in the week, too. Like, in the past, 7 days, the Hawks have been hanging around with these monster numbers. I don't know how they do it. They don't have any players, but they got a couple of dudes, I guess. But, the 76ers, they're a bunch of fucking flakes, these kids. What's up, Pittsburgh Brew? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, Andy Martin, Bruce Chad, Nick Giorgio, Jay Sander, Vegas Gun. What's up, Vegas Gun? Kyle Johnson, Larry Wawa. Good to see you all. Stooch the Man, Baz, Shano. So, yeah, we got the big Rams game tomorrow night. I don't know. Everything's up in the air. Man, there's been a lot of sirens tonight. So. Ambulances, police, fires. Chaos in the city. So, yeah, we had a good night online last night. I don't want to give it all away, and I ended up losing. I'm not betting massive units or anything, but we went 1-2 earlier this evening. We hit the over in the Hoosier game and the Terrapins. But I knew I shouldn't have taken Northern Kentucky, man. Fucking minus 4.5. They win by 4. Once again, if I would have played it, I would have bought the half point, but can't put the play in. I can't blame them. I've actually got money in Bookmaker right now, which I can play here. Bet365 gets blocked in the United States. Bookmaker does not. And I actually do have money in Bookmaker right now. I'm going to hit the NFL. So, yeah, we got NFL tomorrow. So it's our final show before these games. I don't know, man. You'd be hard pressed to find anyone who gave you more information than I did throughout the week, as far as these games were concerned, and our guest as well. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was difficult. It'll get more difficult moving forward. I do a lot of shows, man. We broke down these games like literally, I don't know, like 15 times. And we kept digging deeper as the week went on. We kept digging deeper for more stuff and more stuff and more stuff. But, after a while, it just becomes suffocating with all the analysis and the numbers and the data. I mean, when it comes down to it, it's a football game, right? Yet football is the sport in which past history and data comes into play more than anything else. Basketball is sort of, basketball is a very, if you're hot or cold type of sport, right? Like analytics gets taken out of basketball a bit. Like if the three ball's not falling, the three ball's not falling. It is what it is. Like football is such a physical sport. It's more consistent in teams' performances. That's what makes it so popular to bet on. That's why people bet on it. Like, look, I love the sport of hockey. I'll bet on hockey, but I don't put as much money on a hockey game as I do football games because of that. The reason is because hockey is a reactionary sport, right? So you're betting on a team in hockey, and you're just hoping, all right, they're going to react quicker tonight than the other team to the pucks, the bounces. Hockey's a very lucky sport. I hate to say it, but it's true. Like in football, you won't see a team dominate. Like football teams don't dominate a game and lose. Once in a while it'll happen, but you'll see, oh God, they had 500 yards and the other team, whatever. But for the most part, you don't dominate and lose in football. You can dominate a hockey game and lose. It happens every night. It happens all the time. You have like 44 shots on goal. The other team has like 22 shots on goal. And their other goalie stops everything. You hit like 10 posts. Remember in the Olympics, I'll never forget that game. That night, I didn't say I'd never forget the game. I forget who was playing. I think it was Norway, and who was it? No, who was it? Remember, it was a late night game in the Olympics, the last Olympics. And was it the Czech Republic and Norway? And I put like $700 on it or something. I went big on it. I was like, man, they're going to win this game. And I forget. Some of you guys remember all this shit. It was an Olympic game, and I think it was the Czech Republic. And I swear to God, the Czech Republic had like 55 shots on goal on Norway. And it was 0-0 after 2 periods. Like the Czech Republic hit crossbar, posts, like you freaking name it, man. Like the puck just would not go in, and they dominated. Like you couldn't dominate more without scoring a goal. And I remember like the third period started, and right away, like 10 seconds in, boom, Norway scored. And I was like, oh shit, we're doomed. And we were. Yeah, it is what it is, Tolkien. Good to see you. What are you going to do? What's up, Sonny Vega? Yeah, what are you going to do? Listen, it was 5 in a lot of spots. Oh, don't start talking in this ROI bullshit. Fuck. Settle down, Sonny. What are you watching? SBR all day, Sonny? ROI. You been hanging with Jimmy the Bag? You pick a game, it wins or it loses. There's your ROI. God, I hate fucking gambling, fucking Twitter, and fucking YouTube and all this bullshit now. I spoke to Joey Odessa today. I spoke to Joey Odessa today, and Joey like is he's like, man, he goes, it's really too much now, isn't it? And I'm like, what is? And he's like, fucking. He's like, everyone's a fucking podcaster, handicapper, fucking odds maker, fucking expert, fucking. And like, it's like Joey's been out of the loop or something. Those were his exact words. He called me. Joey wanted to talk to me. Like, yeah, he's been urgently wanting to talk to me recently. So I finally spoke to him today. And I finally spoke to him today. And his exact words were, listen, he goes, I've kind of been out of the loop. He goes, I'm just trying to get settled in. But Joey Odessa will be returning to the loop. And Joey will be returning to our rotation next week. There's Joey Odessa. No, listen, I don't listen. This is the era. This is the era that we're in now with this is the era that we're in. I don't care who does what. My whole deal is I see like these Twitter, everyone's like feuding and bitching and blah, 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 blah. So get a life, fuck. Yeah, so Joey Odessa will join us next week. We'll put him on the morning after show. We'll bring Joey in on the morning after. And next week, yeah, Joey, he's less offensive now, Jazz. He's less offensive now. He's calmer, but not fully. There was a few questionable comments that he made to me on the call. But we'll get him on. We'll get him on the morning after to talk about the Brooklyn card next week. No, you have to understand, Truth. Joey really isn't racist. The best way, but it's best if he just sticks to MMA. Like, you don't want to get his fucking worldview politics. Like, you don't want to get his take on everything. But he really isn't racist. What he is, he's like, and trust me, I'm not friends with racist people. Joey isn't racist. But he's like an old school sort of fucking comedian that's just offensive, you know? He's offensive to like everyone. Like Joey says shit like about, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you name it. Like Joey's Italian. He says crazy shit about it. Like he's just, you know who was like that? Dog was like that. Dog, it's an Italian thing. Like Dog was like that. Dog was like, he just hated everybody. But he didn't hate like people. I just meant like he had no filter and, you know. Exactly. He's like Dice Clay. It's just sort of exactly. Yeah, we missed the dog. We missed the dog. But what are you gonna do? Yeah. Um, there's been over the years. There's been a lot of callers that we miss, and people that were close to the program. Yet, to be honest, as you know, the show moves forward. That's the one thing. Like, I remember when we did the road rage in Montreal a couple of years ago. It wasn't that many old people there. Like, none of the old school people were really there, and Jazz was there, and it was impressive. Actually, you would think, oh, that sucks. Like, you know what I mean? But no, it was better. It's like there was a whole new generation of people that it surprised me. Like, I never met these people before. They're like, oh, I've always been a big fan. I was younger when I listened. So you need to continuously evolve. Like, if you only have the same fans and the same listeners all the time, you're going to be screwed, you know? Exactly, Andy. You always got to have a new wave coming in, right? I mean, look, I'll be honest. Like, a lot of patrons are new people. Not new, they've been watching us. But when we say, like, we have a pretty, strong fan base that goes back years. So, yeah, next, yeah, the rage thrives. Thrive's a strong word. I'm in this thing every day, right? So it's a grind, man. Like, you know what I mean? You can have the same ratings in the same show, and one day you'd be happy about it, the next day you're not. It's like it's a weird industry, this business. But I don't get too stressed about things really. I take things a day at a time. But it's this everything's a grind. Like, basically, it's relentless, right? You do a show, and then there's a new show in a couple of hours, and then another show in a couple of hours. It keeps going. Road Rage 2031, Boise, Idaho. I'll tell you what, Kyle. There's a better chance of us doing a road rage in Boise, Idaho than there is of Bruce Chad showing up to a road rage. We'll do a show in North Korea. Like, relations will be settled with North Korea, and we'll say, let's go over and see Kim Jong, and we'll fucking smoke weed and fucking we'll do a show out there. We'll bridge the international, relations. Like, we'll do a show in North Korea. Like, there really should be bets over under of road rages that Bruce will show up to over the next multiple ones. Our Super Bowl Sunday's coming together though. Our Super Bowl Sunday's coming together as the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart. It's official. We'll be coming up for the weekend. as we'll be broadcasting Sunday afternoon into the football game, and then we'll watch the game online and stuff. All right, so as we stated, we took the Portland Trailblazers minus the 6, and we're going to jump on. We're on the Golden State Warriors. I think the Warriors throttle the Bulls tonight. You know, it's a lot of points, 15, but at the same point in time, like, would you really want the Chicago Bulls in this spot? Like, would you really want the Chicago Bulls? I didn't screw around with the first halves or anything like that. We just jumped in. So it's 22-14 early for Portland right now, like over Charlotte. Utah's up 19-9 on the Lakers. And like I said, we laid the 15 and we took the over. I'm hoping that Golden State just win like 130-100 or something, you know, or a little bit better. All right, so here's the story. Let's get down to business here. Here's the story about the Chargers. And I talked about this earlier. I talked about this on the FanDuel video. I did. I don't know if it's out yet. You know, there's no secret. Like, we talked about this before. Remember that night against the Chiefs on that Thursday night football game? They totally screwed the Chargers. Like, it was blatant. It was like, you guys don't want the Chargers winning the division. And you could tell. They love Mahomes. Mahomes is like the Steph Curry of the NFL. Like, you know they want to get Mahomes through here. And they didn't want the Chargers winning the division. The Chargers won the football game anyways. They came back. They got touchdowns called back. There were penalties. It was like crazy. They went for the 2. They got it. It was like an incredible win for the Chargers. Like, to overcome the Chiefs and the referees and the league that night. Now, last week, same thing against Baltimore. Like, the refs totally, like, reined in the Chargers. The Chargers were running away with the game. The referees started calling phantom calls. The Ravens were getting away with murder all game. It's blatant what's going on. All right? So now we get word that there is concern in the National Football League head office about the possibility of the Chargers playing host to the AFC Conference Championship game. They're not even hiding it. According to sources close to Roger Goodell, there are now contingency plans that are in place if the Chargers win the football game. Like, if this isn't new, there's no way they just thought of this out of the blue. And we're like, oh, you know what I mean? In other words, they're basically admitting that this has been on their mind. And everyone talked about it. And not everyone, but people, you know, Russell Okung brought it up, the guy on the Chargers. He said, we all know what's going on here. And he said, there were some bullshit penalties, man. And he goes, we know what's up. This is fueling the Chargers. You know, that they know the league doesn't want them there. But they're screwing with them, all right? The Chargers are in tough, man, against the Patriots. Like, they're going to have to deliver a knockout punch. Like, they're not getting a judge's decision. Like, what do you think is going to happen if it's close? Who's going to get the calls, man? The Patriots will be grabbing the receivers of the Chargers. You'll see if anyone touches fucking anyone on the fucking Patriots, the Chargers are going to get called. They don't want this. And so where I'm going with this is the league is telling the Chargers if they win that they can't play in their home stadium. That they're going to play where the Rams play in a bigger stadium. It's always about the money, huh? The thing is, now you're really messing with them. If you're the Chargers, whatever, man. You know what I mean? There's 30,000 people in this stadium. Who cares? It is what it is. We've been playing here for 2 years. That's our locker. That's our field. That's my parking spot. That's not our stadium. And the field is shittier there. That's not our stadium. And all you're doing, you're just encouraging fans of the other team even more to come and take over. Like, there's a method to the NFL's madness here. If I'm the Chargers and they're not going to say no because they're greedy and they're going to, you know what I mean? They're going to want the money. This is some fucking grade A bullshit here right now, man. This is some grade A bullshit. It doesn't matter how many people are in the stands. That's their home field now. You know what I mean? You're taking them there. Doesn't matter. It's the same city. You know what I mean? Like they're really messing with them. Like I've never heard of this. You're going to change stadiums because what are you talking about with changing stadiums? If it's planned, like the Montreal Alouettes do that, you know, like the Alouettes, if a Montreal Alouettes like make the playoffs in the CFL, they'll move their game to the Olympic Stadium because they can sell 55,000 tickets to the playoff game instead of, you know, but it's different. You know, everyone knows that's the plan. And plus it's cold as hell in Montreal. So people are down with it. Yeah, just go inside. Right. So that's the deal. Like it's the Montreal thing, like the Montreal Impact. You know, they play in a nice little stadium, but when they made it to the CONCACAF championship and they can sell 58,000 tickets, they went to Olympic Stadium. But it's different. That's planned. They play there all the time. This is the NFL. It's not the CFL where you just move around and U2's playing today. So, we're going to play in this stadium. It's like, this is like, you can't move these teams around like this. Like the guys on the Chargers know the divots in the field and shit. You know what I mean? The guy, like, it sounds crazy, but it's true. Like the guys, like the DBs on the Chargers will know, man, it's a little slippery around the 18-yard line right there. The field's a little softer over there. You know what I mean? The sun gets in your eye in this corner, right? They played in this field. And to me, though, the NFL, the fact that they're putting this little plan together just goes to show how much against they really were this game being played in the first place. Exactly, Andy Martin. I totally get it. It's not unprecedented in sport, but it's not the same thing. And you know what I'm talking about. It's not the same thing as these other like leagues that you know they're doing that. That's the plan. You know what I mean? Like the Alouettes, that's their plan. Everyone knows it. That's the plan. And another thing is, it's different. The Montreal Alouettes practice at Olympic Stadium. That's their practice field. All right? Like they play outdoors, but they don't practice they don't practice it where they play. That's McGill University. That's not their field even. Like they're there, but they're not. They play the games there. And because they can take Olympic Stadium over. And Olympic Stadium's a massive stadium with big locker rooms and shit, so they like it there. Like the Alouettes, that's their head base, the Olympic Stadium. So it's not like you're dropping them in a foreign place. That's where their lockers are. That's where they park their cars. You know what I mean? They're used to it. It's different. Like the Chargers, you're just screwing with them. You know, the Chargers don't have fans in LA. They're already like, they sell out that little stadium. They have some fans, but you know what I mean? So now you're saying, no, we're going to put you in this other stadium where all the other fans are going to come here now. And it's not even your home stadium. It's bullshit. It's like you're going to the Super Bowl and you're playing for a game to go to the Super Bowl and you're like, oh yeah, we're going to change locations on you. It's like, no. You're not changing shit. I'd tell Goodell, go fuck yourself, all right? But the thing is, the Chargers are Goodell's bitch because number one, the Chargers left San Diego. Number two, nobody in LA even wanted them. Number three, they don't have any fans. So they don't have a lot of pull in this. You know what I mean? You're screwing the players, but they don't have a lot of say in this. And number four, the Chargers can't bitch because they're sliding into the Rams' new stadium. The Rams are building this mega stadium, and it's, you know, they're going to share it, but it's really the Rams stadium. I mean, does anyone think that new stadium is the Charger stadium? No, it's the Rams stadium. Roger Goodell's an idiot. There shouldn't even be two teams in LA. Like the Chargers are like the only team that moves to a new city and gets booed. Remember they introduced them at the Lakers game. We welcome the Chargers moving LA and fucking boo. It's like, fuck off. Like they did studies over the years in LA about like, all right, between the, if you want the Raiders or the Rams? And it was actually the Rams. It's pretty like the Rams. Like, so when people say, oh, the Rams don't have fans, they don't know what they're talking about. The Rams have fans. Like I said before, though, the Rams fans were more like not in downtown Los Angeles, but they have fans. It's too bad because the Charger players are really good too. You put them in a weird spot. That's the whole thing. And it's crazy actually too. When I was in Vegas last time, I remember we went to the Raider viewing party. It was a good time, but a lot of people in Vegas all said that they wish the Rams went there instead. A couple of people, like insiders, said, the Rams fucking flirted with Vegas before, and they said it would be better if it would have been the Rams and the Raiders, just because the Raiders are a shit show, right? The Raiders aren't going to win ever, and they have a bunch of nut job fans. Like Vegas really is going to, I'm not going to say they're going to regret it because they're going to get the Super Bowl and stuff, and the NFL draft is going there in 2 years. I've never gone to the NFL draft before, but I think I'll go to this one in Vegas. That's the first major NFL deal in Las Vegas. The NFL draft is in Vegas. I guess it'll be the Trevor. No, it's not the Trevor Lawrence. It's in 2 years. Not this year's draft, but next year's draft is in Vegas. And you know how they do the draft now, right? It's like 200,000 people, and it's like big outdoor shit and all that. So they're going to go all out in Vegas for the draft. And then so they'll have the draft, and then boom, the Raiders will play the following, September in Vegas. Like they have one more year next year. Like next year, they got to play somewhere else again. So they have the draft in Vegas, and it's not. They never made it official yet because they don't announce it publicly this far in advance. But basically, Las Vegas is getting the Super Bowl in 2024 or 2025. It was 2024 or 2025. I think it was 2025. No, 2024. I think it was like 3 years after the Raiders started playing, 3 or 4 years. Anyways, it's going to be the Super Bowl is going there in 2023, 2024, or 25 or something. And look, we're already into 19 now. So essentially, like 5 years from now, the Super Bowl is going to be in Vegas, 4 or 5 years from now. That's going to be like totally fucking insane. The Super Bowl weekend in Vegas is already insane. Right? Like Super Bowl, it's almost going to ruin it. But it's going to be over the top. Like remember the episode of Seinfeld, like when they were like booking the hotel rooms for New Year's Eve, the Millennium and all that? Like this is one of these deal guys that I'm dead serious. Like hotel rooms wouldn't even let you book anyways. Like I don't even know how it's going to work. Like how much hotels are they going to charge? Like $1,000 a night, if not more. Like I was going to say, like basically, like you find out what year the Super Bowl's in Vegas, and you book your room now. You know what I mean? Yeah, I want to reserve a room for 2024 Super Bowl week, MGM, please. Honestly, you could probably buy a house right now. Buy a house in Vegas and rent it out Airbnb for the Super Bowl week. You'll get all your money back. $3,000 a night. No, Vegas has grown. There's more than that now. It's about 3 million now. It's getting out of control. Vegas is overpopulated now. Look at the super contest. The first year I was in a super contest, there was 480 people or something, 427 people. This year there was over 3,000. It's like, that's Vegas. Like, it's everything is just exponentially just keeps getting bigger, bigger. Like, you know what I mean? Grows. Vegas is a Vegas is crazy, man. Like, I follow all these Vegas Twitter feeds, right? My Twitter follows, like, all I have is like cities I've lived in, right? Like, I've got like the Vegas news, all the news outlets in Vegas I follow, Fox fucking News, and a couple of hot anchors follow me back actually for some reason. So I follow, you know, the Las Vegas newspaper, Toronto Still newspaper, shit like that. You know, the media outlets, and so I see it every day. But Vegas is insane, man. Like, people get shot there like consistently, daily, robbed, fucking carjackings. Like, I don't think, like, people don't realize how much crime there is in Las Vegas, and it's getting worse and worse because the city, there's too many people. It used to be small, Vegas. Like, that was the thing. There was the Strip, and then everything else was kind of small, but it's not now. A couple of times ago, I was in Vegas, and not the last time I was there, March Madness, or the IPC shit, but not that long ago. It was like a year ago or whatever. And I was in a taxi, and like, we were off of Paradise Boulevard, and the guy knew I knew the city because I told him, go down here and take Paradise and whatever. And he was like, where you, what's your deal? We started talking. I told him I used to live here, but I don't live here anymore, but I used to live here. And he's like, oh, lucky you, fuck. And it was interesting because the guy told me he was from Orange County, Los Angeles, former home of the Rams. And said he moved to Vegas, whatever, 10 years ago or 8 years ago, and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you know what? He goes, I'm moving back next month. I go, to where? He goes, I'm going back to LA. And I said, why? He goes, there's too many fucking people here. He's like, it's not Vegas anymore. And I was like, I know. I was like, I know. It's a pain in the ass, man. He's like, there's fucking traffic everywhere. There's crime everywhere. He goes, people try to rob me every couple of nights here in my taxi. Like, basically, it was like, it's hell on earth, man. And he goes, I'm going back to Orange County. It was like, bye-bye, Vegas. You know what I mean? Well, we went with Taylor and Sonny last time. They fucking take me to fucking, I know. I tell Sonny Vega, they're like, oh, we're going to the grocery store. Some reason they go to the grocery store in like the worst part of fucking the worst part of Vegas. Not North Vegas, the worst, but I still don't know why you guys go to that store. These fucking dudes in the parking lot staring at us. We're coming in and out. I'm like, yeah, this is great. You're fucking robbed in the parking lot out here. Fuck, first night in Vegas. You know everyone there. I was with you in that grocery store. No one knew you. It was an angry fucking chick, their life working off of fucking Durango at 3 a.m. You're with me, no worries. I'm just letting you know, Sonny, like, there's other grocery stores in Vegas you can go to. I go to North Vegas. I went to the Palomino quite a bit. Yeah, North Vegas is pretty bad. The thing with North Vegas is, look, the Palomino Club's in North Vegas, right? And the Palomino's all right. You know, you mind your own business. You're good. But the thing with North Vegas is, you know what I mean? You can get either, there's two ways of going down. Like you can get purposely robbed, or you could just be at the wrong place at the wrong time there. Like random shit could happen there. There was a story in Vegas the other day. I was living there when this happened, actually. It's fucking nuts, actually. I went to the airport like the next night, I remember. And this poor lady, man. This poor fucking lady. I think she was from Michigan. And she was in Vegas for a convention, like her work. She was going back to the airport. All right? She's going to the airport. It's like Sunday night, 1 in the morning type thing. You know what I mean? You figure, all right, it's kind of quiet Sunday night, 1 in the morning. I'm going to the airport. She's on the strip. She's on the strip. And there was like a gang war on the strip in 2 cars. So 2 cars were like on the strip shooting at each other, driving. Fucking dude shoots the dude. He fucking crashes into the fucking taxi where the fucking chick is going to the airport, and it explodes. Fuck. The taxi exploded. Fuck. It's like a fireball of hell on the strip. Poor lady, tourist, got fucking murdered on the way to the airport. People in Vegas were pissed, man. Like fucking. So it was in the news the other day. They gave him the death penalty. They're killing the dude. And quickly too, like they're like, yeah. There's no debate. You're dead. Like fucking, we're killing you. All right. Yeah, man. They're sending a message. You know, if you're causing explosions and drive-bys on the strip, like you're gonna get executed. Yeah, horrible story. What's up, Lisa? Yeah, terrible. I'm generally, listen, Mohammed, as a whole, I'm against the death penalty only because a lot of innocent people get whacked. That's the problem with the death penalty. But I'm not ethically against it. I'm not morally against it in clear-cut cases. You know, like if it's up in the air and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, there's been a lot of innocent people that have been executed over the years. Most of them like black guys, right? Like with no DNA test, no this, no that. Like just like, you know, it's crazy, man. There's a lot of innocent people on death row, even, you know. I saw a thing basically. They're saying that basically it's about 20% of people in jail are innocent. It's a lot of people, like if you add it up, but you get into the into executing people. Like, look, someone like Paul Bernardo in Canada, they should just kill them on the spot. Like that guy in Toronto that ran everyone over on the street. The cop should have shot him. Like to me, the cop was irresponsible in not shooting him. And it's funny because everyone heralded him. Oh, look at that and the patience he showed. What do you mean patience? Fuck. The guy just killed 12 people. He ran over little girls on the street in a van, and he pointed a fucking fake like cell phone like it was a gun at a cop. Like, how did the cop not shoot him? Shoot him. like if I was the cop, man, I would have been fucking, hey, I hope it was worth it, motherfucker. Bam. I would have even told him that. I hope this was worth it. Bye-bye. Boom. You need to extinguish these people. I'm not for murder, but the thing is, these people are taking other people's lives. They can't be around society, right? They can't be around society. Like this guy, it's like, dude, you had no regard for anyone around you. If you want to kill this guy, you should have done it like on a quiet street. You just killed a woman that was going back to the airport. You're done. You know what I mean? You're done. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't sympathize. I don't feel bad for the guy. Yeah, but the thing is, Ryan, see, listen, some people will say it was right. Some people will say they're right, but we're not right. The guy killed 12 people or 10 people, whatever it was. He wasn't even sorry about it. And now people have to pay for this guy to live for the rest of his life in jail. You got to pay for this guy. You should have just killed him. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Like, if I was a cop, knowing that there's no death penalty in Canada and knowing the Canadian system, I would have shot the guy immediately. Like, fucking, I would have been just like, I wouldn't even waited. He would have got out of the van. I just would have bam. Who's going to say anything? You'd be a hero. It's like, oh, yeah, I can't believe you shot the guy that just killed 10 people. Like, I don't know. They never shoot. Like, they never shoot mass murderers for some reason. I don't know why. Like, how that kid didn't get shot after he shot the school up. You got the other guy that shot the congresswoman. He got tackled. He didn't get shot. The kid shoots a church up. They took him to Burger King after. Thank you, Stooge the Man. So as I stated, I'm not down with innocent people getting executed, but I have no sympathy for people that get, for people that are guilty. And look, I don't know if you guys saw the video of the cop in New York the other day. Once again, like, I probably would have fucking shot one of those crackheads. I don't know if you guys see the video. Like, there's like fucking 7 nut job drunk crackheads in the subway in New York. And what's that apathetic bystanders? You see that shit, Drew? And the cop's like being branded a hero because of his patience. So basically, these guys were harassing people, like walking by for money, and like they were saying shit to chicks, obscene things. And there was like 7 or 8 of them, right? There was a lot of them, fuck. And yeah, they were like sitting there and they're drinking and whatever. Like they took the station over essentially, right? So the cop came over to them and said, "Hey, what's going on here? Chill out." He goes, "Hey," like basically the cop was cool. Like he started talking to them basically like, "Hey, you guys got to fucking settle down," basically. And right away they came at him, all of them. They were like, it was out of The Walking Dead. They were like zombies. They all got up, like 7 of them. And they started approaching the cop, and the cop sort of backed up and said, whoa, hey, what are you guys doing? Like, none of them pulled weapons, and they were all like fucking wasted and shit, but there were a lot of them. And they were in the subway, right? It was kind of like the track is right there and stuff. And he sort of backed up and he said, "I don't want to hurt you guys." And if that was me, I'm pulling a gun out at that point. Like, I'm just being real. I would have like, hey, like, all right. And that's it. I wouldn't have killed them. They were harmless crackheads. I would have shot one of them in the foot or something. Like, send a message. Listen, fuck, you guys want to get shot or what? So the cop fucking, one guy, it was one by one. One guy comes up to the cop, sort of got his billy club and smacks the guy. He goes down. Next guy comes up, fuck, same thing. Cop fucking hits him with the billy club. He goes down. The cop kicked them. It was right out of a comedy. The cop kicks the guy. And then they all sort of tumbled at once. Except then one guy really came at him. Like one guy sort of like fucking went like this and came at the cop. And The cop fucking pulled, like, just fucking flipped him right onto the track. Bam. Fucking, like he flipped him like a wrestler type shit. Bam. Fuck. Right into the buddy lands in the fucking track. And the cop is like, hey, I told you guys, I don't want to hurt you. Everyone calm down. Fuck. And same shit. The cop got like a medal the other day for his patience. They were like, this is good police work. You know, you didn't use your gun. You didn't shoot him. It's funny because before I was the first guy to cry all the time about cops shooting people. Here I am now. I'm like, they should have shot him. Hey, if that cop would have shot those guys, I wouldn't have bitched. like it's on video. What are you going to say? It's like, look, I got 7 fucking crackheads on with rabies coming at me. What do you want me to do? Yeah. Just shoot one of them in a kneecap. Bam. Yeah, I'd probably get my gun taken away, Jazz, if I was a cop. I'd be very quick to be, all right, everyone settle down. Trust me, man. I'm in New York here. I see, man. I wouldn't want to have to deal with some of the shit the cops deal with in the city. So, and then you have Montreal, of course. I don't know if you guys saw, there's another video that came out just a few days ago in Montreal where it started off as a traffic spot. Somebody filmed it all too. So Buddy's just sitting in his car. It's a white guy too. So you can't know I'm going to bitch about racism. So it's a white guy. And he's in the car. And I don't know what he said to the cop, but fucking the cop told him, get out of the fucking car. So the guy gets out of the car and the cop headbutts him, fuck. I've never seen a cop headbutt someone before, fuck. The cop in Montreal headbutted the guy. So the guy's standing there and the fucking cop goes, bam, and he fucking headbutts the guy in the head. The guy fucking goes down and then the cop just starts beating the shit out of the guy. And somebody's filming it, and all these onlookers are like yelling, hey, stop. And then the cop's beating the shit out of the guy. And there's a big dispute right now in Montreal about it. Basically, every witness that was there said that basically the cop attacked the guy, that the cop headbutted the guy out of the blue and just started attacking him. The Montreal police are saying there's a part of the video that you don't see that Buddy fucking reached for his gun type shit or altercation. And it's funny because the whole thing's on video and everyone, like all the witnesses are like, no, they're like, there was no other altercation. Like, this is the video. Like, he pulled him over. I guess Buddy was like fucking sitting on a bench and it happened like right in front of him, like at a stopped red light, you know what I mean? So he's just sitting there and he already had his phone going type shit. And you could hear him in French say, oh, he's like, what's up? Like, what's this? And he looks over and he's like, the cops pulling someone over and fucking bam. And Buddy, he's like, oh my God. He starts like, hey. You mouth off to a cop in Montreal, it doesn't end well. Like I know cops in each city and like their tendencies and like what they're like. And there's pros and cons to the cops in Montreal. The positive to the police in Montreal is it takes a lot for them to get out of their car and like to get in your face. You know what I mean? Like they're you know what I mean? They're not petty. You know what I mean? They're not petty. You know, they're not like after little, like even before like weed was legal and shit, they never cared in Montreal. Like I've never once been like, you know what I mean? Like people stand outside of bars, outside of police station. Like they don't care. Like drinking on the street, they can sometimes, but you know, I mean, shit like that, they don't really care about. But if you piss them off, then it's really, really bad for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, you guys ever go to Montreal and you got a problem, man, just say yes sir, no sir. Like, I'm telling you, if you start mouthing off, it will not end well for you. Clam Chowder was telling me about the other day because he didn't want to jaywalk here in New York. I told him we were at a light, and I said, no, we're good, Chowder. Let's go. Let's just go. And he goes, oh, I got a ticket in Montreal recently for, I was like, for what? He goes, jaywalking. I said, you got a ticket for jaywalking in Montreal. I said, you get a ticket in Montreal for not jaywalking. Like, if you stand at a red light and not jaywalk in front of a cop, like, he thinks you're up to something. He's like, what are you hiding? Like, you have to jaywalk in Montreal. Otherwise, people think you're up to something. What are you like? He's like, why are you not jaywalking, buddy? So, yeah, Clam Chowder got a ticket for jaywalking the other day. And I asked him, I said, how do you get a ticket for jaywalking in Montreal? And he blamed the French. And what it was is Clam Chowder doesn't speak a word of French. Now, you don't have to speak French to the cop, but if you have attitude, and Chowder like doesn't speak French like at all, like even like the smallest, he clams up. You know what I mean? He stays in whatever. So I'm sure the cop basically tagged him because of that. Like, you know, he stopped him. Chowder probably had a little attitude back, and I don't speak French. You know, like there's a thing that French people fucking hate in Quebec is when English people say, kind of, I don't speak French. Like if you spit it out and try, you're cool. But if you just say, I don't speak French, then out comes the ticket. You know what I'm saying? So, like, remember Clam Chowder complained, Jazz, when we went to the Alouette game? He goes, I don't come to Alouette games because it's getting a little too French. He goes, the announcer's all in French only. And he goes, I don't understand it. Like, yeah, no, he doesn't like not like a ounce of anything of French. And I'll tell you what, people in Montreal are very nice. Like, well, they're not overly nice. You know what I mean? It's like a crazy, but I'm just gonna say, like, if you're a tourist in Montreal, if you've never been there, and you're American or you're Canadian, you've never been to Montreal, and you go to downtown Montreal and stuff, and you go out, you're gonna have a great time. People are gonna be nice to you. You won't even know, like, you know, half the city's English. Like the downtown's very English in Montreal. Part of that, like, it's sort of split in half. And but even French people are going to be nice, and it's not a problem, right? But the police in Montreal do not like English people. It's true. It's true. Like, there's not like that's why I knew with Chowder right away. I was like, yeah, I like it's true. Especially if you don't play ball with them. Yeah, Chowder shut his Twitter down, but then he's back. It's going to be hard for him to let it go. He's 58 years old. He needs, listen, as he'll be back. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he basically stated he can't travel anymore. If you notice, if you read between the lines when he said he retired, yeah, he basically stated, I said to him, so you're never putting, this is it. You're never doing this again. And he said, well, no, I'm slowing down. And he said, I'm putting it away. But then he said, if you come to Montreal or the Expos come back or whatever, like he basically said, if I go to Montreal, and then he said he's not traveling anymore. That he can't, this is it. That he's done it all. New York was the last, Times Square was the last hurrah. He actually is. I told him that. I said, you're doing pretty good for 58, actually. You know how I kind of knew it was real? Because usually Chowder will come places and, you got to feed him. He's got nowhere to go. And you know what I mean? It's like, you really got to take care of him all the way. You know what I mean? Like he'll just sit there without eating and shit. So you're like, all right, better get a guy something to eat, like it's so. But this time it was weird. It was fucking, we were at the FanDuel Sportsbook and I bought Chowder dinner at the FanDuel Sportsbook. We bought wings and nachos, whatever. So to split, right? So it's like 40 fucking bucks. But when the chick came and she goes, you guys need any drinks? Fuck, Chowder bust out a $20 bill. And me and Riggs are like, no, Chowder, you're good. Don't worry. It's all good, Chowder. He's like, no, I insist. He goes, I want to buy you guys a round of drinks. And somehow they fucked our drink order up majorly. And then when we went to Al's, fuck, I was paying for Chowder, and Chowder paid before I even could. It's like, I don't know. Maybe Chowder came into some retirement money. He's not letting us know or something. Because Chowder had 20s. Like, he busted 20s out. I was thinking, well, you inherit a bunch of money or something, Chowder? Like, what's going on here? Like, I felt bad, though. I didn't want him to buy me breakfast. You know what I mean? Like, I felt bad after. I was like, poor, what a nice guy. But I was like, fucking Chowder. Like, just fucking, he bought me breakfast at Al's. But I got to tell you, he was Clam Chowder was very little drama. Drew was here. He was very little drama. Like for all of our worrying and everything. Now, we did briefly lose him in Hoboken, but he was all right. He split on his own. What are you going to do? Like, I don't know. I got to tell you, I think he knows. I think he knows the subway system better than I do. Like after I was all worried, I'm like, he's like, oh yeah, no problem. I go to the L train, I get off at fucking Roosevelt, I take the 152 bus. Like he fucking bang. He had it all. Like, Roe was well, because I don't want to take the Q70. I know where to get the Q70. Fuck, I saw it last time I was there. I don't want to take it. Yeah, he's got the Metro in Montreal down pat. The metro of Montreal is good. It's the cleanest. It's the cleanest metro you'll see. Like in New York, there's like rats running around and shit, right, on the tracks. And same thing in Toronto. It's not like in Toronto. Like I don't look down at the track, fucking Toronto. Like if you look at the track in Toronto for more than a minute, like you're gonna see like you'll be, oh fuck, man, there's a bunch of rats right there. Like you don't want to look, fuck. Like Toronto and Montreal, the same. I don't know what it is, like with their subway. I guess because it's outdoors, indoors, like it's like the exact same thing. There's just rats in the track everywhere. And once in a while, like they'll get on the fucking platform and shit. Like Montreal is different. Like I've never seen a rat or even a mouse fuck on the track in Montreal. Because it's indoors. You figure still there would be, but there isn't. Like Montreal is the subway is very clean, fuck. It really is. Like the stations are clean. Like Toronto is pretty disgusting, the subway. It's very New Yorkish. Like New York even might be even cleaner than Toronto. Like but Montreal, like the Montreal, like I said, the Montreal Metro is a pleasure. Fuck. Like it's you can get anywhere in the city in like 20 minutes. It really does roll along. It's actually a marvel. Like it's been voted oftentimes like one of the best metro systems in the world. It was built only because it's so old and it still works like as well as it does. It's electric. So it's sort of ahead of its time, you know? It was indoors. Then it was built in like 1967 and pretty expansive too. Like Toronto's a big city and the Toronto metro system sucks. Like the subway system sucks in Toronto. Like the subway system in Toronto is the same one that they had in 1954. Literally. Like they haven't added anything. Fuck. It's like it doesn't go anywhere. The Toronto system, it's like it stops. Like downtown Toronto has no stops really. They have streetcars everywhere and shit, but it's very old Toronto, and they argue about everything. They can't build new stops because they can't shut the city down. So they're kind of screwed. Montreal is all underground. Like they fucking built islands, and Montreal is a marvel actually. Like Jean Drapeau is a great man. Yeah, exactly, Big Will. The metro in Montreal was designed by the same guy that designed the Paris metro system. And I guess the Paris one is known as the best one in the world for real. As far as like just its expansiveness, its vastness. And listen, in Asia, they got bullet trains and shit. But like the Paris subway metro system has been the envy of like sort of that world, you know what I mean? But so is Montreal. The thing with Montreal is they're screwed. It's like it's good, but they need to keep it sort of it's very basic, right? It's just like it's electric cars on wheels. But can you believe it takes like 2.5 hours to get to a Jet or a Giant game out to the Meadowlands on the subway train? And in Montreal, it took 9 minutes from downtown Montreal to get to Olympic Stadium on the subway metro. The people, it's too far. 9 minutes. Like it was 9 minutes from fucking, it was 9 minutes from Saint Laurent Metro. It was like 15 minutes from Guy Concordia. And basically, it was about 25 minutes if you started at the end of the line. Like wherever you were coming from on this metro in Montreal, it wouldn't take you more than 20, 25 minutes to get there. Like people in most cities would kill for that. Oh, I get to the stadium in 20 minutes. I get on this train and 20 minutes later, I'm at the stadium. And I don't even have to go outside. It's a tunnel right into the stadium. Like people are just dumb, you know? Yeah, I saw that there. Me and Kent were talking about that. Woodstock's 50th anniversary. My mother was at the original Woodstock in '67, or excuse me, in '69, and I was at the. I went with my mother. May she rest in peace. I went with my mother to the Woodstock, the 25th anniversary. Can't believe here we are 25 years ago again. Like, so yeah, I went to the 25th anniversary in 1994. I see that they're doing this one. The one I went to wasn't at the original location. It was close to it, but it wasn't the same. I went to Socrates, New York. Where's this one? The original Woodstock was actually in White Plains, New York, I think, right? I know it's Woodstock, that whatever it was called, the farm or whatever, but the town, I think it's actually White Plains. But it's actually at the same scene and everything. Like they're doing it. Like it's pretty. I knew they would. We talked about it at Christmas when we were with Kent. Did we talk about it on the air and shit? Like I was like, I'm sure they'll do a 50th anniversary, and then boom, a couple of days later they announced it. No, I wasn't at the one with the riot. That was the crappy one after. That wasn't even Woodstock. I don't know why they did that one. Yeah, I was at the one. Yeah, Green Day, Nine Inch Nails, King's X, Candlebox, Metallica, Aerosmith. Sheryl Crow, Bob Dylan, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Who else was there? A lot of bands. I don't know. It was just, everyone was there. Fuck. Yeah, what happened? Is that where they canceled the show, Jim? Did they cancel that one? Was that the one where they canceled it the weekend of or something? You know what the thing is with Woodstock? I'm not going to go this time. I was thinking about it in honor of my mother, but well, I'm not going to say not for sure. If I went, I'd just go for her because it's something that she would like to go to if she was alive. So I almost like live for her and go. I'll probably go since I put it that way. Because either way, it won't be far from me, right? I'll either be here, Toronto, Montreal, whatever, wherever it's close. Like, you know. Why were you there, Stooch? I was there for that. That's the thing I was going to say, Drew. That who's going to be playing? Beyonce and Jay Z. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to book like a real what the way it should be done. Like the Woodstock it should be done. Listen, I'm not even a big Dave Matthews guy, but like you know he should be in. Musicians, um, rock bands, hard rock. You know what I mean? The thing is to do something. They're going to make it too commercial. It's going to be such a commercial bitch. I mean, it's that they need to get, you know, they'll get, you know, Radiohead, I imagine, Coldplay, shit like that. But that's not Woodstock. Yeah, it'll be like Coachella. You know what I'm saying? Drake and Jay Z and fucking Beyonce, Kelly Clarkson or something. You know what I mean? It's not, you know, it's not going to be like Carlos Santana and fucking. Look, there's no one left. Everyone's dead. Stevie Ray Vaughan's gone. You know what I mean? Like, who can you play? Like, that's what I'm saying. There's not even any bands you can get. You know, I guess you can get a couple of the old bands that are still alive, like the Rolling Stones, um, the Who. Here it is. Woodstock, real Woodstock, all right, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's at Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen. It was supposed to be at the original site. Fucking, what is this? Can't be a racetrack. 80 miles outside of Syracuse. The original producer's doing it. Original Woodstock producer Michael Lang has announced 50th anniversary concert will be held in central New York. Woodstock 50, a 3-day festival, will take place at Watkins Glen 2019, this August 16th, 17th, and 18th. Tickets will go on sale in February. Prices have not been announced, but you know there'll be a lot. Performers have not yet been announced, but Lang tells Rolling Stone magazine that he has 40 artists already booked. And an announcement will be made in the next month on who's going to be and here it is right here. It's going to be an electric bill. It'll be hip hop and rock and some pop. Is the Warrior game not on TV tonight? I see Portland's rolling. See, that's what we're talking about. It's exactly what we said. First thing he says, it'll be hip hop. All right, Jay-Z, Beyonce, rock. Who's rock nowadays? Coldplay, Radiohead, pop, right? He's going to try to get Adele, I'm sure. Adele will probably do this too. Adele, pop. Who else is pop? You'll probably cheese out and get some really shitty pop bands. He says rock. And he goes, and a few of the legacy bands from the original festival. We mentioned Carlos Santana. Carlos Santana, who performed in 1969, actually has told people that he will be performing. Lang added that there will be newer bands, but they will perform tributes to Woodstock artists that can't be there, such as Janis Joplin, the band, Jefferson Airplane, Joe Cocker. We're looking for some unique collaborations, maybe some reunions, and a lot of new up-and-coming talent. The thing is, listen to this. Woodstock will take place the same weekend as another 50th anniversary celebration of Woodstock at the Bethel Woods Center for the Arts. Except listen to their lineup. Daft Punk, Bruce Springsteen, Eminem, Ariana Grande, Coldplay, Phish, The Weeknd, Elton John, Bon Jovi, Pearl Jam, Foo Fighters, Pink, The Who, Santana, Zac Brown Band, Mumford & Sons, and the Chainsmokers. It sounds like these guys got you beat, Woodstock. Like, what are you doing a show for if you know they have this show already? Yeah, who cares? Fuck them all. They're not all confirmed, Brooks, but it said rumored acts for that lineup is all those acts. Oh, I love Santana. Santana is fucking slick. You're right, Drew. That's what I thought when I saw that. I'm like, Santana is already booked for this other art festival. And he's telling people, yeah, I'm doing Woodstock too. Exactly. He's like, yeah, I'll be in the area. If like one night I'll do that festival, I'll go to Woodstock the next day. Yeah, I don't know. Like, listen, I went to that Woodstock thing. I don't really have the urge to go to any shows, to be honest, Lisa. It's weird too, because I like the band Disturbed, and I saw that Disturbed are playing MSG. And I was like, yeah. I was like, hey, Disturbed's playing. I saw that like they had it flashing outside. And I'm like, hey, Disturbed's playing. I was like, whatever. I was thinking about it. I was like, I like Disturbed, but do I really want to go and sit there for 2 hours in that arena and watch them? Probably not. I guess I really am getting old. Fuck. I'm to the point where I'm like, I don't want to go to a rock concert, and unless I'm playing it, and I'm to the point where I'm like, the cop should have shot him. Cop should have shot him. Yeah, you know you're getting old when it's too loud. I don't want to go to that. And how come the cop didn't shoot that guy? In my day, the cops would have shot him. I don't know. It's nothing but crap on him flipping around here. I got the Laker game, but I got a million sports channels, but it's all like just replays shit. The best of the Michael K show. Fuck, that must have been a challenge to find that. Fuck. Sportsnet New York Sports Night. They're showing like that's Met talk. Evander Holyfield versus Riddick Bowe, MSG Fight Classics. St. John's Red Storm report. New York Rangers and Islanders replay from last night. It's like it's all replay shit. All right, Lakers Jazz. I don't have any money on this game. Like, how come where's the Warrior game? Wright State of Northern Kentucky. That game's like from 4 hours ago. I got NBA Network, NBA Game Time Live. It's like a highlight show. Fuck, man. NBC Bay Area. What kind of world are we living in? When a Golden State Warrior game isn't on nationally, Gino. What about the gamblers? What about the children? All right, so we'll blaze a quick one here, and then we'll get into the NFL. We'll go over the props and stuff. What's the deal in Kansas City right now with the weather? Kansas. I don't like, though, just seeing weather. Like, I like to find like live camera feeds in the city or something. I need to see what's going on. Here's the weather report from 3 hours ago.
Well, Saturday, without question, is going to be a cold day. It's also going to be a snowy day. The vast majority of the snow falls during the overnight hours Friday night, but we should still have some lingering snow showers through the day Saturday. Look at those temperatures, though, working up to only 32 degrees. That's your daytime high at 4. So the snow that falls is not going to melt away on Saturday, although the additional snow amounts will only be an inch or two through the day Saturday. Most of that snow falling Friday night. There could be some pretty reasonable totals by morning, anywhere from about 3 to 4 inches by tomorrow morning. Another 1 to 2 falls on top of that through the day Saturday. But see, this is
all right. So gonna be cold, wet rain tomorrow. But Do you hear what he said? He said most of the snow is actually going to be tonight. I'll tell you what. Bad weather in this football game is an advantage for the Indianapolis Colts. The Kansas City Chiefs have a hard time with the run. They're not so great against the pass either, to be honest, but they have a hard time stopping the run. The Chiefs aren't the most physical team. They got some good pass rushers. They're very athletic, but you can run the ball on Kansas City, like physical style. And I think that's what the Colts are going to do. I'm a little concerned. I'm getting cold feet about the over in this game, especially with the weather conditions coming into play and the fact that Frank Reich is a good coordinator and good coach. And Frank Reich will look to do whatever he can do to move the ball and keep the ball away from Mahomes. I think that if it's rainy, windy weather, sloppy, like cold, like sort of, cold, freezing rain, like snow type shit, I think it's an advantage. I think the Colts can run the ball more effectively than the Chiefs can. I think Andrew Luck will be affected less by the weather as well than Mahomes. This is one thing, guys. Mahomes never played a playoff game before, and Mahomes has never played in bad weather. Off the top of my head, when's he ever played in bad weather? He's played in Kansas City this year, weather. He played the last game of the year last year, but not extreme. Like Texas Tech, he never did. You know what I mean? So I'm just stating, Mahomes, their offense, I think their offense gets affected more in shitty weather than the Colts do. And if the weather's nice, then whatever. The Colts will be able to move the ball anyways. To me, they have equal offenses. I know the Chiefs have a flashier offense and stuff, but at this time of the year, that shit doesn't matter. It's like who's going to be able to get first downs? Who's going to be able to move the football? And I think the Colts will be able to move the ball. I know the Colts will move the ball. The Colts will be able to move the football. The Chiefs will be able to move the ball too, but I think the Chiefs will be more erratic. Like the Chiefs will have a couple of big plays and shit, but I think they could have problems a bit. And between the two of them, like both their offenses are going to move the ball, but the Colts defense is way better than the Chiefs defense. Like when you balance out the twos, the strengths and negatives of the teams, it's like, all right, you both have very good offenses, but one of you has a defense. The other one of you, your defense is a little shaky. One of you has a rookie quarterback. Not a rookie, but a second-year quarterback, but a quarterback making his first playoff start. And we know the quarterbacks making their first playoff start are 3-12. I'm not talking about rookies. The rookie stat's done. That was last week. That's 0-8. Rookie quarterbacks are now 0-8 the last 8 playoff starts, their first playoff start. Now, quarterbacks who make their first playoff start, who aren't rookies, but it's their first playoff game, against quarterbacks who have been in the playoffs before are 3-12. Andrew Luck's been in the playoffs before. Mahomes is not. Right? Like there's an unknown of Mahomes in this game. Mahomes is really good, but it doesn't mean he won't make a mistake along the way. I think it's 16-1 even, Sean. Fanatical Jim says Damian Williams over 3.5. I like where you're going with that, Dan. Fanatical. I like that. I do. And we'll dip in here. We'll take a look at what Daily Roto says here with the props. Remember I told you guys, I said Daily Roto has this game as a 5-star play to the under. And they've got the total at 36. The other night it was 36.5. They've gone down half a point. So it's no mistake. That's insane. Like the Colts Chiefs total is 57, but the computer is saying 36 points. How the hell is the computer saying 36 points here? And they like the over and the Ram Cowboy game, the computer. All right, so Indianapolis. Well, see, it's 3.5 Damian Williams. The computer says 3.47 for Damian Williams. The prop for Damian Williams receiving yards is 30.5. The computer says he'll have 22.46. Total rushing yards for Damian Williams, 48.50. Computer says that he'll rush for 57 yards. Let's just get into the value difference. We'll go through all of them. The best value difference player props for tomorrow. Amari Cooper. The prop for Amari Cooper is 71.5 yards. The computer says he's going to get 79 yards. So there's a difference of 8. There's a difference of 3 with Brandon Cooks, but that's not a big variable. There's a difference of 8 with Damian Williams, rushing yards. There's a difference of 7 with Eric Ebron. The prop for Eric Ebron is 49.5 yards. Computer says he'll have 56.5 yards. It's not jumping off here. So far, the biggest variable here is Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds, third wide receiver on the Rams. His prop is 42.5. The computer says he'll get 53.89. The computer likes Tyreek Hill. I can live with that. Tyreek Hill's receiving yards is 82.5. The computer says he's going to have 94.35, a difference of 11.85. So for playing the value differences here, you would take Tyreek Hill over receiving yards, T.Y. Hilton over receiving yards, Josh Reynolds over receiving yards, Damian Williams over rush yards, and Amari Cooper over receiving yards. Those are the top 4 props according to the computer. Is Cooper 64.5? See, that's the thing. Now this is when you shop around, Mark T. So 64.5 and 71 here. So big difference. So I like this. We'll play this, Jazz. That's tomorrow night. So Amari Cooper, is it really a 6? Let me check here. Bet365. You guys are asking me about, who'd you ask me about? Robert Woods, Brooks. I was just looking at this game. We'll get to that game in a minute. Gino, we'll get to that game in a minute. All right. I think Ebron could score a touchdown. All right. They don't do touchdown props, though. All right. Total player receiving yards. Here we go. All right. Amari Cooper. Yeah, 64.5. Wow. Yeah, the computer is saying he's going to get 79 yards. That's a big difference. Like the computer's real. Like it doesn't give you what you want to see. It gives you what, you know what I mean? So we got to take a look at that. Amari Cooper, that's a big difference, man. 64 to 79. That's a difference there. Got to take that. Like Eric Ebron is 45.5 here. They've got him at 56. We got some soft numbers here. T.Y. Hilton, 88.5 here. Travis Kelce. One thing I've noticed with Travis Kelce is the thing with Travis Kelce is he catches more balls than yards now. Like, you're better off doing the receptions with him than the yards. But I'd stay away from Kelce. Kelce's a prop killer. The problem with Travis Kelce is he's very good, but he's not overrated. He's the best tight end in the league, or at least he's up there. But the thing with him is his props are overrated. The numbers are too high, and you know what I mean? He needs like 8 catches to get there, 7 catches all the time. And other teams like really, really game plan for him because essentially, if you can take Kelce away, it's a good start. But from a football standpoint, actually, I was reading the coaches' takes here, scouts and coaches' take about what they're going to do, how the Chargers are going to handle the Chiefs here, and the Colts. And I guess the Colts' number one concern is Tyreek Hill. Like, basically, you know, the Colts need to pick their poison. Like, we can't stop everything, so what are we going to do? And I guess they're worried about Kelce, but the Colts' number one concern is Tyreek Hill. The Colts think if they can slow down Tyreek Hill, that they're going to win the game. That basically that's their priority. They think that if they can shut down Tyreek Hill, that that's their key to success, and they'll live with the dumps to Kelce and Williams and stuff. But I know the Colts are hell-bent. They're very concerned about big plays from Tyreek Hill. And they even said, like, it was sort of like unnamed coach, basically, that was saying that, you know, they're going to accept that Tyreek Hill is going to make a couple of big plays, but they don't want him getting the ball in his hands easily. So they want to disrupt Tyreek Hill. They're going to have a spy on him and stuff. And they're going to have to battle with Kelce, and they're going to have to hope that fucking Mahomes is a little shaky. Like I said, bad weather is an advantage for them. That's the thing, too, guys. We can talk about these wide receiver props and shit, but if it's fucking sleet and freezing rain going sideways and it's windy, then throw all this out the window. We'll have to not take the long field goal prop in this game. Now, one thing with weather, guys, is you always have to check for yourself. Like, you know, we just heard a weather report, blah, blah, it's snowing tonight. Yeah, that's tonight. They're not playing this game till 4 in the afternoon tomorrow. And I don't care if there's 4 feet of snow in Kansas City right now. There ain't going to be any snow on the field when they play. There's a tarp on the field. Like, they take care of this shit. You know, like it's overblown. But we'll see the weather tomorrow. It's tough to give you guys props right now because of this. The Ram game we can talk because the weather's not a factor there. All right, so receiving yards in the Ram game. Amari Cooper signed us up for the 64.5, and in fact, we'll play it tonight with Jazz here for the number moves. Brandon Cooks is 64.5. Josh Reynolds is 41.5. Robert Woods is 75.5. All right. Survey says, Amari Cooper, 79.92 yards. Computer says for Brandon Cooks, 70 yards. 65.5, not enough value to take it. They like Josh Reynolds to get 53.89. And what are we getting here on that one? Was it 40.5? 41.5. I like that one. I like buying low. I like that one. I like the Amari Cooper because basically they only throw to Cooper. So I like Cooper, and I think the Cowboys will be playing from behind. Cooper will pop one or two big ones. If you notice, Cooper's very good with yards after the catch. So they'll hit him streaking over the middle. He'll pop one for 38 once. He'll get over 64.5. The Cowboys will be playing from behind. Why I like Josh Reynolds is because Cowboys defense is pretty good, and you got to look at this, guys, in these props in these playoff games. Is in the playoffs, star players don't do as well. And you can, if you're smart and you know this, you can win on this. Like basically, like I said, like Tyreek Hill, the Colts are going to be hell-bent to disrupt Tyreek Hill, right? So you know they're focused on him. So basically, Chris Conley, like is there a number for Conley? You know what I mean? Like you look for the secondary and third-tier guys. You know, it's interesting, like Ricky Sanders, who's one of the best in the business. Ricky said, keep your eye on Tyrell Williams. He goes, I don't know. He goes, I just get a feeling Tyrell Williams is going to make a couple of big plays in this game. And look, Tyrell Williams' yards is 20.5. So basically one big play, you win the prop. And the Patriots, like, are coming into this. I'll tell you guys right now, a good example is Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's prop is 70.5. Mike Williams is 43.5. I'm not taking Keenan Allen. Number one, he gets hurt all the time. Number two, he's going to have Stephon Gilmore on him. All right. And number three, the Patriots, Belichick, like that's what he does. Belichick takes away what you want to do. And Keenan Allen is what they want to do. So the Patriots, no secret. Like if you're following, if you're reading what's going on this week with this game, is the Patriots are very concerned about Keenan Allen. And they're going to shut him down. Like, they're going to have Gilmore up his ass. They're going to have fucking help over there. And they're going to try to take Keenan Allen away. Therefore, Mike Williams becomes the new guy. Phillip Rivers is going to be looking to Mike Williams because Keenan Allen's going to be covered. Now, Mike Williams is going to have to step up, but the number's too low at 43.5. Mike Williams is good. He's going to make plays in this game. I like that. Travis Benjamin, 11.5. Are you kidding me? What do they have for Benjamin here? That's one catch. They don't have anything for him. Oh, here's Chris Conley. They've got 27 yards for Conley. Yeah, good call, Fanatical Jim. Good call, guys. See, now we're thinking. Yeah, Colts did the same thing. Exactly. That's the thing in the playoffs, man. I'm telling you. Teams do that. They're like, all right, we know that Hopkins is good. We know that Hill is good, but let's make them beat us with something else. You know what I mean? That's what these teams do because they know. They're like, otherwise, Hopkins is going to kill us. And look, it worked for the Colts. Let's harass Hopkins all day. Hopkins is getting frustrated. They were up his ass all afternoon long. The other guys weren't good enough. And like you said, it leads to dump-offs out of the backfield too because the quarterback gets frustrated, right? He drops back. His normal guys aren't open. And he's like, damn, man, he's got to dump it off to the running back. Like I said, Josh Reynolds is good in this situation. Dallas's number one concern is going to be Brandon Cooks. Well, that's the thing with the Rams. Like, let's be real. Their number one concern is Todd Gurley. They don't want to let Todd Gurley get going. But I'm talking about in the passing game, they're going to be very concerned about Brandon Cooks. Like, you know, the one thing with Cooks is, and I've always said this about him over the last few years, is he's better than his stats indicate. Like, he gets double-teamed. He creates chaos, this guy. And he gets pass interfered with a lot. So a lot of times, Cooks takes off down the field. He'll have the DB on him, and they bring safety help over because they're like, shit, he's going to beat the guy one-on-one. And Cooks, he's a great decoy, Cooks. All right? So you got Cooks as this decoy. Robert Woods is very good, but they're going to be looking to take Woods away too, and it's going to leave Josh Reynolds. This is the big thing with the Saints problem. and I've talked about this over the last month or so, is Michael Thomas is getting double teamed and even triple teamed now. And teams have realized, they're like, you know what? Drew Brees is great. Thomas is great. But let's see let's see Brees. He can't throw the ball if we've got 3 jerseys on this guy. And we'll take our chance. Traquan Smith, get open, buddy. Kirkwood, get open. You know what I mean? Drew Brees doesn't have a lot of weapons, man. Yeah, the Saints are like really good and can win the Super Bowl, but they're also in a weird spot. Like if a team can get to Brees, like he's going to be in trouble. Like Brees' best target is covered all the time now. So this is the playoffs, man. Like Marshall Faulk talked about teams, and when you're successful, teams know what you're doing. So teams are taking Michael Thomas away. That's why now Kamara runs the ball so much. Because Peyton's like, all right, we can't throw the ball every play anymore. Like we're gonna have to run the ball. So they just run the ball now, and they can get away with it because Kamara and Ingram are so good. I agree. Good to see you, Van Fub. I agree. Ted Ginn's going to really helping back as a decoy. Because Ted Ginn's not great, but Ted Ginn's fast. And when they said get him down the field, you're going to have to be concerned, man. If you take it lightly, he's going to get open. Like the thing with Ginn, he used to drop balls in his Miami days, but he's gotten better. And one thing with Ginn is he's good for a few big plays a game. Maybe one play. Ginn will make a play. Let's take a look at his props. He'll make one big play. That's what he does. There'll be an end reverse sweep or something with him where he'll pop it for 38. You know what I mean? He'll return something. He'll make one big catch. He makes one big play a game, this guy. But and in big games, he steps up too. Ginn, say what you will about Ted Ginn, but the guy's played a lot of big games in his career. Quick note on that, though, is with the Saints, is Michael Thomas is going to be just fine and Brees in this game. The Saints will have a problem against good defenses, but let's be real. The Eagles secondary blows, and Mitch Trubisky just couldn't do anything about it last week. But Drew Brees is going to pick them apart. But I'm saying against the Rams the following week or in the Super Bowl, etc. Like, but depends. Now it doesn't matter. You can have holes in you. You can be a flawed football team now. You only need to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. Like New England's flawed, but they can still get there. So, like I said, the props are a little trickier to hit in this Colt game, just because of the weather right now. Like, it's tough to say, oh, the passing yards or this or that. And I'll tell you what, let's take a look at Marlon Mack's rushing yard prop. What's Marlon Mack? Also, what I like to look at here in these playoff games, all right, Marlon Mack, it's rushing attempts, fuck. Rushing yards, look at the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks run more in the playoffs. Like, all right, total passing yards. That's not what I want to know either. Player total, here we go. All right, Andrew Luck, 16.5. Mahomes, 16.5. That's one thing you look at right away in playoff games. Quarterbacks rushing. They take off all the time, man. It's the playoffs. Like, every play is important. You can't throw it out of bounds. Like, you got to get yards. Like, QBs, especially in today's NFL, it's like, all right, it's not there. Take off. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a few instances where, Luck takes off and shit. But once again, the weather's a factor. But let's look at the quarterbacks and their rushing yards here. Like last week, even like Phillip Rivers, his rushing prop was like 1.5. Fuck, he rushed for 8 yards once, and it went over. I remember doing that with Eli Manning in the Super Bowl, and I won. His rushing yard, his prop was 1.5. And I was like, dude, all you got to do is fall forward. Fuck, and he did. He did. Fuck, he took off once. He got like 5 yards or something. I took the Peyton Manning rushing yard prop. He got it. Even Peyton ran for a couple of yards in the Super Bowl. Like, it's the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, even guys that don't want to run. Like, Brady will take off tomorrow if he has to. All right, so let's see Mahomes rushing. Mahomes doesn't run that much, though. He really doesn't. Like, he's not a dual threat quarterback. He can be, but he doesn't. Like, he doesn't have to. Like, look, like, they haven't played him forever, but in the last game of the year, he had 2 rushing attempts for 1 yard. Against Seattle, Seattle's a comparable game because it was 31-38, 38-31 game at Seattle. They tried, and he rushed for 33 yards in that game. But Mahomes has only rushed for more than – earlier in the year, he was taken off. So he's 16.5, Mahomes. Andrew Luck is also 16.5. Now, Andrew Luck is a pretty good runner, actually. Look at this with Andrew Luck. So we got 16.5 yards with Andrew Luck tomorrow, rushing yards. Last week against Houston, 8 rushing attempts, guys, 29 yards. The week before against Tennessee, 7 rushing attempts, 17 yards. Against the Giants, 2 rushing yards, 13 yards. Against Dallas, 6 rushing attempts, 20 yards. Against Houston, 16 yards. Jacksonville, 16 yards. All right, so over the last 4 football games, he's gone over 16.5 3 times. Now, one thing is, once again, the weather and, can Kansas City get a pass rush on him? Right? Houston got a little bit of a rush going. Can they get a rush going on and to make him take off? But 16.5, doable. I'm more interested in the Dak Prescott here. What do we got for Dak? 16.5. Sign me up with the over. All right, Dak Prescott last week rushed for 29 yards, 6 attempts, 29 yards. I'm basically looking at the quarterbacks over. We might just take off every one of them over 16.5. Dude, Mahomes is fucking fast, man. If Mahomes takes off, it's one big run. Andrew Luck fucking doesn't like getting hit. He's a big dude. He takes off. Dak Prescott's going to have to take off in this game. They're going to be playing from behind. He's going to be running around and shit. They're going to have a couple of this. And even one thing, Dak Prescott's the best one out of this because the weather's not a factor. They're going to be playing from behind, so he's going to be scrambling and running around and shit. And the Rams will be in a drop-back defense at some point. They'll be up by 14. And another thing is the Cowboys are running now design plays for Dak, which they haven't done, but I've noticed they've done that a few times over the last few games. Like the college style. Dak will fucking sort of drop back in the shotgun and hesitate, sort of. It's like a stunt draw, and then he takes off. So don't be surprised if they have a couple of run plays even called for him, right? Let alone him scrambling. I like the Dak Prescott one over 16.5. I like the Dak Prescott one because, like I said, Andrew Luck and Mahomes. Mahomes doesn't run by nature, okay? He's a thrower. So, you know, it's not a lock that Mahomes is going to run for 17 yards. He probably will, you know, smaller unit, but he probably will, but no lock. Andrew Luck, he should get 17 yards rushing, but once again, I don't know. Is it going to be a fucking snowstorm and crazy rain? I don't know the scenario of this game. And another thing is, are Kansas City going to get to him to force him to take off? And another thing is, if the weather's even bad, not horrible, if the weather's bad, I think they're going to run the ball a lot. I think the Colts are going to run the ball. I don't think the Colts want to get into a track meet with the Chiefs. Like, the Colts are a good team, but they're not built to, like, get into a 38-35 game, really, with Kansas City. You're playing into Kansas City's hands. Like, think about it. And Frank Reich's a good coach. So if you're sitting there, you're thinking, all right, how do we do this with Kansas City here? You do it by fucking running the ball, man. And playing ball control, like Andrew Luck doesn't really throw deep much anyway. It's just sort of bang, 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 run, pass, 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 run, 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 pass. Mix and Frank Reich is very good at mixing shit up too. So I think they're going to run the ball more. And then it leads us into the Ram game. And like I said, all the requisites are here. Weather's not a factor with Dak Prescott. Number two, they're going to be playing from behind, which you think, well, that means they're going to be passing. Yes. But it also means that they'll be passing. And think about it. What happens when teams are like up? Let's say the Rams get up by 14, 17. They drop back. Suddenly Dak's fucking desperate, dropping back. Runs for 8 yards and runs out of bounds. You know what I mean? And as I stated, they run design plays for Dak, like that touchdown run last week. You know, they were like the 7-8 yard line. They ran a draw fucking with him, you know? So don't be surprised if there's a couple of design run plays. He takes off. Rams are up late in the football game. They're dropped back in a prevent sort of zone a little bit more. He'll take off. I think Dak is the best one as far as the quarterback one. Long field goal. Hard for us to take the long field goal. Hard for us to take the long field goal in Kansas City right now. And I'd like to because Vinatieri's good, but the problem is weather. And if it's shitty weather, and you see coaches don't even try long field goals as much anymore, but in the Ram game, it's different. In the Ram game, it's in Los Angeles. Look, we saw fucking Garrett try to 63-yard, 58-yard field goal with that dude last week, right? You know, they tried a few long field goals. Garrett's got confidence in that Mayer kid, the kicker. And Zerline's one of the best kickers in the league now. Will Lutz is probably the best, but he plays in the dome, so it helps him. But Zerline is elite. And the Rams have no issues booting a 50-yard field goal. Like Zerline, like McVay is one of these, just kick the key. You know what I mean? Like McVay will go for it if he's at the 32-yard line or something. But McVay doesn't hesitate with Zerline. Like 47 yards, 52 yards, 54 yards. Weather's not a factor. Like, he'll send Zerline out to kick a field goal. Like I said, Zerline's one of the best kickers in the NFL. And the Mayer guy, the Dallas Cowboy kicker is okay. You know, he's sort of, it goes in more than it doesn't with him, but they have confidence in him. Like I said, they try long field goals with the guy, right? And he's nailed a few long ones for them. So I would look at the long field goal prop. Have a good one, Kyle. I would look at the long field goal prop in the night game tomorrow night, but I'll post all these for you tomorrow. All right, so we gave you 3 late night NBA picks. I told you to take the Portland Trailblazers -6. The Portland Trailblazers are winning by 27. You guys know I don't lay favorites, man. So when I'm laying 6 points in a game, you got to think, man, Morency's on to something here. So I don't want to mush this. We're only up by 23 right now, but there's a minute left. And we are on We got the Golden State Warriors minus the 15. And we're on over 220 and a half or whatever it was. Yeah, 220 and a half. In-game total is 247 and a half right now. And the Golden State Warriors are minus 29 and a half. Let's go. Let's get a 3-0 on the way out here. What did I say? Warriors will win 130 to 100. Fuck. And right now, the team total for the Warriors is 138 and a half. And the Bulls team total is 109 and a half. Well, that's not bad, Gino, because we're on the right side of the blowouts. It'd be nice to hit this, pad the account a little bit more, and then ride into tomorrow, man. Like I said, that's why it's good to have multiple options. Like, I don't know, maybe I won't have to go out to the book tomorrow. I was planning on it, but you know, I'll have enough online tomorrow to get in on this Colt game. I'm not going to go crazy. Like, I'm not going to bet 1,000 a game. But, you know, I want to get in on this Colt game. To be honest with you, the Rams, I do have to get out to the book because the Rams Saints teaser is what I want to play, the big one. Look, I haven't changed my mind. I'm taking the Colts plus the points. I'm taking a Ram Saint 7-point teaser. And I'm taking the Chargers plus the money line. And then I'll have a couple other teasers as sort of safety insurance, valves, parachutes, but, you know, Chargers plus 11 type shit. But that's what I'll do. That's what I did with the Eagles last week. I took the Eagles on a teaser, so I had them plus 13 and a half, and I had them on the money line. I didn't take the plus the points. I was like, I had money line and a teaser. But I like the Colts plus the 5.5. I think another good option for tomorrow too is I'll get a piece of this. Is I'm going to grab the Colts plus the 5, little sprinkle on the money line, and I'll money line the Colts with the Rams to try to get into the Ram game tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's say because I know I like the Rams, so I'm going to bet it anyway. So look, you take the Colts on the money line and the Rams on the money line. Boom. Plus 268. And that's money lines. Plus 268. So essentially, if you can get through the Colt game on the money line, boom. You go in and then suddenly you got the Rams at plus 268 on the money line on Saturday night. Right? And you can also have the Colts on a teaser. You know, that's another way you could go. You know, Colts plus 12, Rams, pick them. Colts plus 12, Chargers plus 11. But I like this Colt money line, little sprinkle. You know what I mean? Because basically, look, I don't have to play the Ram. I want to play the Rams and Saints on that teaser. It's going to show patience, but it's worth it. I did it last week and I won, you know? I don't care. Saturday, Sunday, what it is, it's not that bad. So I want to play a Ram Saint teaser, but basically, if I can get the Colts on the money line out of the way, and then I have the Rams at plus 268 on the money line, I can put less on the teaser suddenly, right? Like the whole thing with gambling is too, you're trying to get like the most out of the least, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather risk $100 and take the Colts, this parlay, Colts money line, Rams money line, and get $368 back, than put $100 on a 7-point teaser and get $170 back, right? Colts, Cowboys, Chargers money line. Hey, listen, I wish you the best of luck with that. Well, not really, because I'm going to be on what are you playing the Colts? Oh, yeah, Cowboys. So I can't wish you luck on that. Look, the thing is, Mark Lawrence brought it up. On average, there's one upset per weekend. There's one upset per weekend. Like the top seeds generally do win. It feels like this year is going to be a little different. I get it, but and then the Sunday games we'll talk about tomorrow, but I do think the Saints are going to blow them out. No, that's the opposite, bros. The Eagles aren't beating the Saints, bro. I like that teaser. I like Gino's teaser. Look, if we played all 4 games that I like, let's see what my parlay pays. But I don't think it'll happen, but it's only 1150. The Colts to win, the Rams to win, the Chargers to win, and the Saints to win is only plus 1157. It's not enough for what needs to happen. Too many crazy things need to happen for that to happen, and you should be getting like 20 to 1. Fuck. I mean, come on, man. For the Colts and the Chargers both to win, and the Rams and the Saints, and all I'm getting is plus 1157. I mean, it's not bad, but one thing is, though, the Cowboys are no joke. Like, I bust Corey's balls, but the Cowboys are a good team. Like I talked about on the radio today, we bigged them up. Like the Cowboys actually have been balling. You got to give these guys credit. It's hard to because they're just annoying, but they've been playing good football. You can't deny it. I just think the Rams will get back on track. It's amazing. A lot of people don't like the Rams. Like, they want to see them fail, or they don't like McVay. They don't like Goff. They think, I don't know, they just think they're overhyped and shit. But I mean, like an unlikable team, really. I have no problems with McVay. McVay's a cool dude. Gurley's cool. Goff's all right. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have, like, Cook's a good guy. They've got a lot of head cases on defense, the Rams. That's where all their nut jobs are. But that makes sense, right? Aaron Dahl's a nice guy, but he's fucking pretty, like, he's pretty aggressive on the field. We know Ndamukong Suh's a nut job. We know Aqib Talib's a nut job. We know Marcus Peters is pretty unstable. So their defense, they've got, like, that's where, like, but that's like they're a smart team. You know what I mean? They're like, all right, let's get a bunch of skill guys on offense and a bunch of fucking nut jobs on defense. They're actually a pretty, you know, they're a good built team. They're starters, but like we talked about, they have no depth, the Rams. But you don't need depth in the playoffs unless people get hurt during the game. That's the thing with the Rams too. It is sensitive. Like if like Peters goes down or Talib goes down during the game, it's not like, oh, next man up. Like suddenly they're like, oh shit, fuck, we got to put this kid in, man. Like, you know what I mean? They're very, very thin, the Rams, as far as their overall depth is concerned. No, the wheels aren't falling off. The Rams will be fine. The Rams are going to win this game tomorrow and whatever. They're going to go into New Orleans the next week and they're going to be in tough. But to me, the Rams and the Saints are on a collision course. They have been all year. And that game that they played was for home field and the Saints won it. the Rams were in a tough spot. Like that game against the Saints was a monster game. And listen, the Saints went through a grueling schedule too, so there's no excuses. But that game was a couple of weeks after the Rams had played that game against the Chiefs on the Monday night, and it drained them, And, they got this high track meet shootout. It caught up to them. Like basically the Rams, they picked a bad week. It was a bad week for them, Rams. And the Rams were in that game. They had a turnover, and it was like, they couldn't get over the hump that game. I think they lost by 8. They were in the game, they ended up losing by 8, and that was the difference. That was the season. Like they knew after that they were screwed. They couldn't catch up to the Saints because the Saints had the tiebreaker, right? They weren't going to pass them. So it took a little edge off the Rams in the last month. They knew they were locked into the 2-hole, and they knew they had home field. They sat down Todd Gurley. Aqib Talib was out. Peters was in and out. Like they had a lot of injuries. 2 of their linemen were out. They're much healthier now coming into this game tomorrow. I think Rams win like 31-21, 31-20, 31-20. It's too bad we don't know about the weather in that game tomorrow. But my head's spinning. I'm fucking tired as hell. It's been a long week of shows to grind this shit, but I can sleep in a bit in the morning tomorrow. Even though I'll wake up early anyways, but I'll probably wake up at like 8 or 9 or something instead of 6:30, but another good week of shows is all we can do, plow through them. Hopefully, strike gold at some point in the coming months. We got a couple of things in the works right now. I'm doing I just signed, I didn't sign it, but whatever. I got Salam doing it. I'm doing a video series for Will Hill Sportsbook starting next week. I'm doing a video series for Will Hill Sportsbook. Very, very basic stuff, so you guys are gonna laugh. But they want me to explain gambling to people, like from the bottom up. Yeah, from the bottom up, like literally from the bottom up. So, hey, I'm Gabriel Morency. I'm here to tell you what -110 means. You know what I mean? And they're just quick videos, like they're 60 seconds basically. And like they stressed it, so I got to get everything down fast, blah blah blah. Right? So it's 60 seconds of video, but there's a million of them and shit. I'm doing like 4 at a time and like 4 every fucking 2 days type thing, and until like there's like 50 of them or whatever. Like so it's basically like gambling 101. Like, so I'm not giving picks or anything. It's basically just really standard. You know what I mean? So what does -110 mean? What does +6 mean? What does a parlay mean? What is a teaser? So basically it's like, it's basically an explanatory video series for people that have never bet before. But as you know, we've been doing a lot of stuff with FanDuel. Except FanDuel's been getting FanDuel doesn't pay me directly, right? I just charge for it and whatever. It's through Fantasy. But we've been doing a lot of work with FanDuel, and like now the time has come, so to speak, for FanDuel either to pay up for real or like. So now like we've got shit with Will Hill going. Like basically like I'm either going to be working for FanDuel or fucking Will Hill like real soon. Like the shit's hitting the fan now. Like it's in the works. So basically, like I might do game time decisions every day at the FanDuel Sportsbook at the Meadowlands. Or we sign with Will Hill. And Will Hill has Monmouth, and they've got shit out in Atlantic City, but they want to push their app more. Will Hill's a very big, successful company, right? So now basically it comes down to who's going to step up and take over. Is it going to be FanDuel or Will Hill? I think, I don't know. Well, maybe it'd be better if we could get money from both, obviously, the company, but you need like affiliation in this world, right? You need to be on a team. It's the way it works. And like DraftKings has their own thing going. FanDuel is trying to really pick up their content, and, there's a lot of stuff in the air that I can't fully get into, but like right now, the most powerful people are sports books. They're the ones with the money. They're the ones with the business. They're the ones with the revenue. right? They're more successful than the media outlets are. Like they've got money, right? So, and they all know they need content. You know, they can't just be a book. Like there's a reason why FanDuel has fucking websites with videos and right, like it's content is king, right? And I provide content, so that's my deal. I'm a content provider. It's funny, years ago, Richard Garner always used to talk about that content. And it's true. Like people need content. And in a new era right now in the business and the media, even big networks like MSG and the Yes Network and these big networks, they don't want to spend money. Right. So they would rather just say, listen, fuck, you guys do the show and we'll give you a couple of bucks for it. They don't want to produce it. You know what I mean? Like it's a pain in the ass to hire a host and fucking studio and lights and blah, blah, blah. But they need shit on their air. Right. But they don't want to produce shit on their air, but they need shit on their air. So that's where companies like we come in. Like the Fantasy Sports Network, like, if you look at our sponsorship, it's not great. We have a lot of ads, but it's not like, Budweiser and big money shit. But they make their money through Daily Roto and they make their money through content. You know what I mean? Like, Greg Sussman does daily videos for NBA.com and NBA. NBA is paying for that. Like the NBA needs videos and they're not, it's easier just to say, whatever, fuck, give these guys a couple of K a week and fucking let them do it. Right? They got money. They got billions of dollars. So it's like, yeah, whatever, So that's where you make money in this industry, selling your content to other media outlets. That's where you make money. So basically, we're trying to sell these shows and like FanDuel wants shows, right? So we'll see what happens. Good stuff. You see what I'm saying? Good for them. I like the Welsh. She's good. Hopefully I get that NBA stuff this summer. We'll see what happens. I don't have my hopes up fully. I'm going to find out pretty much at the All-Star break, which is around the corner. Cardano has meetings with the NBA at the All-Star weekend, and supposedly that's when this shit's supposed to get locked in. So I'm going to find out pretty soon. But look, I got an email the other day, basically, and it was like a company inside thing, and it was about the NBA, and it was basically said the NBA loves what we're doing, loves the network, loves the videos, blah blah. FanDuel love the NFL videos that me and Maria are doing, and so everyone's thumbs up. Like now it's to the point where it's sort of like we're dating, but are we going to marry FanDuel now? Like it's gotten to that point where it's like, all right, listen, we could do the show every day, your book and shit, but if not, we're going to go over to Will Hill. So, and it's sort of at that point, But I don't, I'm not going to say I don't care, but I don't stress about these things. For me, it's a challenge just getting through each show, right? So I can't really think forward too much about things. I'm sort of thinking through the Super Bowl and then, into March Madness, and we'll see what happens. But time goes by fast, fuck, All right, so what's going on in these games? It's 119 to 81 with 10 minutes left. So I told you the Warriors would murder the Bulls. For me with this game, I was actually kind of chasing, but like I said to you guys before, do you really want the Bulls at plus 15? No. Yeah. So we're gonna hit that. We hit the Blazer game. Nice 3-0 wrap up the night, go into tomorrow, and roll it over on this Colt game. Like I said, I like the Ram game more. I like the Ram props. It's so important, man, to hit that first game tomorrow. Like, there's only 2 games in the NFL, right? There's only 2 games tomorrow, so fuck, man, you got to hit that first one. You hit that first one, and at least you go into the Saturday night, you can attack it, and if you lose, whatever, you break even and you move on. But you lose that first game, man, it just sets up, it sucks going into the nighttime. I always lose my first bet too. Like, if you guys notice, like every fucking night, it's like fucking, I start the night 0-2 and I got to battle back. So it happened tonight. Look, we only gave you 3 picks. We went 1-2. Of course, we lost by half a point in the college basketball game. We had a Northern Kentucky minus 4.5. They won by 4. We had the money line parlay. Everybody won easily, except of course we lost the Sixer game by 2 points. So I lost 2 bets by a combined 2.5 points. So I was 1-2, and I didn't want to go out 1-2. So I fired off a text to Jazz. I gave you guys the picks here when we started the show. I didn't post them because if you're watching the show, you got them here. So we just went. We're going to go 3-0 on the way out here. So that'll get us back into another positive night going into tomorrow. Hopefully we can hit this shit tomorrow, roll it into Sunday, and have a nice weekend. Play the under for you and what? Yeah, first half under. I don't have a problem with that play, Mohammed. Like I said, though, once again, the weather's a big factor in that game. But under 28.5 could be worth a look for F. I don't think it's a crazy play. Look, if it's really shitty weather tomorrow, I'll grab the under in the first half. Like I said, I think the Colts are going to run the ball more than people think. All right, the quarterback props tomorrow night. I like that Dak Prescott over. Passing yards. Player total passing yards. Andrew Luck is 303.5. Mahomes is 314.5. I don't want to repeat myself, but the weather takes that out of play. We don't know. It doesn't mean I won't play them tomorrow, but I need to see the weather tomorrow. These numbers are a little low, though. Dak Prescott, 242.5. He's going to be playing from behind. He threw for 226 last week, 387 a week before, 161, 206. He doesn't get, he doesn't go over this number very often, but they're going to be playing from behind. Goff is 282.5. I'm not in love. No, neither of those jump off the page at me. Like I said, for the perspective of that, the prop, I like the long field goal. Now, the wide receivers in this game, the differences are Brandon Cooks, 3.69 yards. There's nothing stands out there. What's Todd Gurley supposed to do? All right, Elliott's prop is 5.5 receptions. They're calling for 5.89. Elliott's rushing yards is 98.5. It's actually 95.5 at Bet365. They say he's going to rush for 93.97. They like Josh Reynolds. Here's Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley rushing yards is 87.5. They have him rushing for 87.96. Travis Kelce, 6.5 receptions. They've got him with 7.38 receptions. They got Travis Kelce with 93.5 yards. I don't trust Kelce. Robert Woods, 75 yards. They got him at 74. I'm noticing the Ram props are pretty like Michael Gallup is 36.5. They've got him at 37. But if you notice, Gallup actually has been making plays. What's Gallup done recently? Michael Gallup. DraftKings is great. Like you just get it for the stats fast. Not much. Only 18 yards last game. 50 yards the game before that. 53 the game before that, though. Next Saturday we got UFC Brooklyn. I'm going to go to the fights. I'm going to be going to the fights next Saturday in Brooklyn. Muhammad, I've been giving picks on TV for the last 15 years, buddy, and some people, there's a few people out there that tail me all the time. There's like 10 or 15 like nut jobs on Twitter and stuff, and guys that like I could lose all the time and they still ask me, "What are you taking?" And you know, but for the most part, dude, you could lead a horse to water, as they say, but people are always going to bet what they're going to go with. You can suggest shit to people, but like I do show with Cam every night. I told Cam last night, I said, listen, don't take Oregon. I said the Ducks are struggling. Their best player is out, and UCLA are undefeated since they hired their new coach. No, Oregon at home, man. What happened? UCLA won. Fuck, right? And I don't tell them not to take, I'm not one of those guys, don't do that. I hate when people do that. People do that all the time. No, this is going to happen. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen. No one knows what's going to happen. It's like I said I like the Rams tomorrow, but if you tell me you like the Cowboys tomorrow, I'm not going to say, oh, that's stupid. Cowboys can cover the number, right? It's funny. I never used to drink bottled water. I never drank water, but I never drank bottled water. I would drink tap water. Now I've been basically only been drinking bottled water, and I'm out of bottled water, so I just fucking put some tap water in this, and man, I can taste the difference. It's crazy what a difference it is, actually. Like I can taste like the whatever in it. Whatever it is, what was it? Fucking lead? Iron? What is in it? Lead? Look, I do it all the time, Gino. I read a lot of things in the morning, right? And I read things about, and I fade shit that I know. I'm like, man, why did I do that? They just told me this. I knew that. Or like, I read something that, and I faded anyways. Fluoride. Thank you. Thank you, Lebowski. Yeah, there is lead in this shit too. Yeah, exactly. I'm in Jersey. Fuck. Yeah, fluoride. Thanks, Lamont. There is a lot of fluoride in it. Yeah. It sort of got that lead or copper sort of taste too. I didn't run the water long though, you know what I mean? But still, like there is a difference with the bottled water, definitely. It's like licking a penny. Exactly. I fade myself sometimes, Jazz. Jazz will tell me, ask me sometimes. He goes, "Why did you take that?" He goes, "You said that would happen." I was like, "Yeah." You know, I remember I did that with the Vikings. I'm like, Kirk Cousins will choke. He sucks. Then I take the Vikings. I'm like, why did I do this? I knew he would do this. Like, ugh. I've gotten better though. I've been on a pretty good run actually the last few weeks, but I don't like saying that because I haven't been on that great of a run. I just haven't lost. We'll put it that. I haven't lost my shirt. Thank you, Mohammed. Yeah, I saved myself in that Wisconsin game though, but I just couldn't tell people on the air I did it because I couldn't suggest to do it. But during that Wisconsin game, I changed my mind. Then I jumped on the over, and then that was losing, so I got really upset. And I was in Canada, right? So I was able to bet it myself, and then I didn't screw around. I remember I said on the air, we were live on the air during the game on the radio, and I said, Miami's not scoring anymore, man. And finally, I said, screw it. I put the whole account on Wisconsin to get it back. I had to lay 12 and a half points with Wisconsin. I laid the 12 and a half after in game, and I got it all back. I'm a very good salvager. Like I said, look, I went 1-2 tonight, and I managed to go 3-0 on the way out, right? Like I am a good salvage better. That's one thing I'm good at. It's almost like I get better at it. It's like, all right, let's get serious. Fucking get out of this. Like, you know? No, but there's a reason why I do these things sometimes, Chaz. Sometimes you have to go against logic. Is there one of these college all-star games this week? I saw Emery Hunt was tweeting. No, I don't see any odds yet, so it's probably like next week. Damn, am I good though? Huh? What did I tell you guys? 130 to 100. I said the Warriors will probably win around 130 to 100. And here we are. There's 3 minutes left in the game, and they're up 131 to 98. Well, look, I've had this account. This is the same account, Jazz, that I had in Vancouver. It's taken me 2 weeks, so it's been 2 weeks now since Vancouver. And no, it's 1 week. Fuck, what am I saying? It's like no, it was last weekend. I don't even know the date now. Oh, yeah, we were here last Saturday at 2 weeks. So it's two Saturdays ago. It's not bad. Like there's been no cards bought or anything like that. So we've been riding for 2 weeks. So the plan is we're gonna try to hit them tomorrow, roll into Sunday, and I'm gonna take it out on Sunday night. Like I said, I don't know. I got to figure out tomorrow what I'm going to do, man. This shit's rapidly approaching now, too. I'll figure it out when I wake up, how my mood is. I'll tell you what, I was in the sports book last week for the playoff games and on Saturday night, and it was a shit show, man. After you left, Drew, there, me and Chowder, we went, Riggs picked us up. Like every time I say it, but it's true. It's like, whoa, I've never seen it this packed before. Like there was an hour wait to fucking get a table. We didn't have to wait an hour, but there was an hour wait for like most normal people and shit. Like you had to give your number and like it's insane. Fuck. The only good thing is there wasn't big lineups for the gambling. No, there was 1 million people in the building, but there's only a few games going on. Everyone's on the football game, so there wasn't big lineups. Like that was one good thing. Like yeah, I went to the window. It was like a minute, 2-minute wait. It was like a normal sports book suddenly. So that was pretty cool. But as far as like watching the game, it's a pain in the ass. There's nowhere to sit. There's nowhere to sit. Like people get there early, they don't leave. They have tables reserved. There's like, it's the same guys at the book every day. So everyone's a VIP and shit. So everyone's got their table reserved. Like, you know, that's how we got a table because of Riggs. Now I could have got one. Like I know most of the people there, but like Riggs is way in, right? Because Riggs is there all the time. Riggs bets pretty big money. He's got the VIP card and shit. So Riggs got a table easily and shit. But it's a pain in the ass. Like it's not like the early days when we used to go there. Like we were there in the early opening days, right? It's not like that anymore. It's fucking packed. That's the thing, Drew. Like they keep expanding and they're trying, and now they have new pick quick slips and this and that. It doesn't matter. It won't matter. Like, because there's just more and more people there. So, like, you add more things, it just add more lines almost. Like, they need to open the other grandstand. Like, they need to take over. Like, you can't kick the horse people out. But listen, FanDuel has spent so much money on that side of things. They're not going to take over the other side. It's almost to the point where you need to send the horse guys over there. But they're not going to do that because they're not enough to do it. So FanDuel's going to have to take over the other side. So you leave the one side the way it is with the horse guys, and then the new side on FanDuel, the old fucking stadium, that's all FanDuel. You know what I mean? Because there's not enough room. Like this business is like, it's just extenuating. Like there's not enough room. There's no room in the parking lot anymore. I'm telling you, dude, last Saturday, you had live horse racing, you had the NFL playoffs. It was fucking insane, man. Like even the driver chick, when she showed up, man, she even said after, she said, I've never seen it like this. And she's local. And she said, she goes, what the hell's going on here tonight? Like there's not a parking spot anywhere. It's packed inside everywhere. It's just packed, packed, packed. Like that place is going to be a circus for the Super Bowl, man. You have to get there the day before to get a table for it. Thanks, Gino. So we gave you guys some bonus time tonight because we don't have an early morning show. Oh, it is awful, bros. I used to really enjoy hanging out there and shit, but I don't now. Like, I don't want to go to a place where, like, look, like we had no choice last week, Brooks. Like, we had to sit where we sat. You know what I mean? I don't like that. You know what I mean? I want to be able to go where I want to go, but it was basically like, look, this is the table that you got, and you're lucky you're getting it. And it wasn't a bad table, but it was just basically like, you know, you can't move around. You're stuck there. I wasn't drinking either. There's only so many fucking Sprites I can drink. I fucking ate a lot last week there. Fuck, man. We ate the fucking nachos, the wings. Then I got cheesecake and fucking. What else did I eat? I ate something else. Fuck. It's tough. You know, you sit, and the thing is, there's like a $25 minimum, fuck, if you're going to sit in that room. And I wasn't drinking booze, so I was like, well, I'll order that, and then I'll order this. I'm like, yeah, give me a piece of cheesecake. I'm sitting there, I had a stomach ache after fucking. That's why I don't want to watch the game there tomorrow night. It'd be cool to get drunk there and watch the game, but it's too many people. It's not worth it. So if I go to the book tomorrow, I'll probably go. I would go basically, you know, in the morning and the afternoon and just come back here and watch the Chief game. Or if I didn't have to do any Patreon, I'd probably just go there, watch the Chief game because it wouldn't be too crazy in the day and then leave. I haven't decided, but I'm sort of leaning with going out tomorrow to watch the game. Corey could come down here. Corey just wants to come to the Jersey side. He doesn't care about going to the book. He just wants to be on the Jersey side so he can get his bets in. So I told him, all right, we'll just come here and we don't have to go to the book. We could hang out here, but I was thinking, whatever, fuck. I could just put his bet in for him. And I was thinking of just telling him, fucking, I'll meet you in Manhattan. Like I said, I got to get out a bit, fuck. I was thinking, might go to that fucking sports bar strip club Hoops that we went to before. They're gonna have the game on. They got a big game room and sports room. It's a sports bar strip club. Fuck. It's a bunch of hot fucking Hispanic chicks. Most of the dancers were Hispanic, but like hot Hispanics. Like fucking. It was a good place. Yeah, that's where I was gonna go. Actually, I was thinking. I told him that. They'll have the game. It's a sports bar, a tavern. And exactly, he can bet there. I can bet. I'll call Jazz. You know what I mean? Exactly, Brooks. I got to enjoy myself a bit. And I was thinking that. I'm like, well, I'm watching a game. I was thinking that. I'm going to tell Corey tomorrow. I'm like, bro, if we're watching a game, whatever, bro. Because he's always coming to here and there. And it's a pain in the ass for him to get back to Harlem. I'll just tell him, listen, I'll come meet you in Manhattan. Because Corey does a local radio show on ABC. He's a guest from 6 to 7 every Saturday. So he finishes at 7. I can watch the Chief game, and then tomorrow I'll tell him, listen, I'll meet you in fucking Manhattan, and we'll go over to Hoops on 26th Street. And we'll get fucking drunk with the hot Hispanic fucking strippers and watch the Cowboy game. All right. What happened with your phone? Yeah, hoops. Here's the gallery. Has me sold. I think that's the place to watch the game tomorrow. Ah, that's your deal, huh? I told you it was your phone. They couldn't have been that wrong all the time, right? Like George Washington. Yeah, I mean, your phone didn't work in the parking lot there. Yeah, looking at the Hoops Cabaret Gallery, I'm like, I'm sold now. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's go there. I'm thinking now, I'm like, maybe I should watch both games there. Although that could get pretty expensive. Look, I've only been there once before, and from what I remember, it wasn't that bad. Like it was cheaper than Canadian strip clubs. It was the same. You know what I mean? It wasn't that bad. It was like $8 a drink type shit, $10 a drink, $8, $10, whatever. Now it was pretty pricey actually. Now I'm remembering. I got a double. I think it was $23 for a double. In that range. Well, you get what you pay for. You're not hanging around with chicks like this for, you know what I mean? I don't have Corey's phone number. Hard to believe, but I did, but he lost his phone, and everything here is they're fuckers, man. Like he would have had to pay like $300 to change and keep the number. So it was ridiculous. So he got a new number. But he sent me an email before. I'm setting myself up for disaster watching the game at hoops, though. You know, the Cowboy game in Atlanta like 11:30 or something. I'm gonna miss the ferry back. I got a show to do at 10 a.m. Sunday. I'll get back here. I'll be fucking wasted. It'll be one of those nights I won't remember what happened. Fucking. Like I said, I'm always in the same part of Manhattan, so I like to get out, branch out a bit. 26 isn't that much branching out, but you know, it's a little different. I remember I went with Carton and Corey and Michelle that night. Remember we did the show from there, and it was a cool place though. The management was cool, and I remember they let you smoke in that place too. They have like a back balcony type shit. If you know them, you can go back there. They didn't care. They let us go back. Me and Corey were blazing there. It was pretty cool. But even outside, you could blaze and shit. You could blaze in Manhattan pretty whatever. But like the doorman didn't say shit. Like I was fucking smoking weed pretty much right in front of the door, man. The guy had fucking smiled at me. Like fucking. There's Rick's Cabaret, and it's like Strip Club Row. There's a few strip clubs like right around the area. Is it 33rd? Well, where's I didn't look. I don't know why I thought it was 26. What's the address? Oh, I didn't even know they own the other ones. Other venues. Vivid Cabaret. Vivid Club's probably pretty good. I didn't know there was a Vivid Cabaret. Holy fuck, these guys own every strip club. Other brands, whatever, they're part of the company. Vivid Cabaret, Rick's Cabaret. Yeah, Rick's is right next door. I didn't realize it was this close. So it's 33rd. Yeah, it says 1 block from MSG and Penn Station. Sports bar, fuel, great menu, 3 levels of entertainment, bachelor parties, divorce parties, birthday parties. It's fucking weird though. I'm on their website. They don't even have an address on it. It is. Yeah, you're right. 33rd, 48 West 33rd Street. Oh, 26 scores West. All right. There's another place. What's it called? Fucking near Times Square. I noticed it the other day. All right. So the inputter closing what 9 o'clock tomorrow night? Wait, what are you doing? You got a big date tomorrow night, Jess? So that's during the Cowboy game. You're killing me. It's all right. I'll get on cam tomorrow night if I have to during the game. Like, how am I going to get my halftime bet in? Yeah, listen, it's the NFL playoffs. It's the Dallas Cowboys. Hell, the Pig and Parrot has the game on with sound and everything. Even they show the NFL. I want to mix it up though. Like I said, I think hoops is the plan. Hoops is the plan. I'll regret it on Sunday morning, but got to live it up a little bit. Yeah, it's a good question, Kyle. What's up, Kyle? It's a good question. 9 Eastern or 9 Vancouver time? Yeah, what do you mean 9 Eastern? You know what do you mean? You're not watching the football game tomorrow? Yeah, that's a good point. Good call, Kyle. Like 9 o'clock, who? Well, you got to leave like in the middle of the game? What's going on? Yeah, I actually don't want to sit with Corey after he's all depressed after the game or be with him when I lose all my money on the Rams. Either way. You notice Jazz, he's not telling us why he's shutting it down. He always asks questions, but now, no, Bet365 is a good book. That's why I don't fuck with them with the Geo shit. I keep forgetting I have money in Bookmaker now, too. I got a bonus affiliate thing going. I forgot about. I checked it. I'm like, oh shit. All right. I got to get out of here. Gave me a bonus show. Tomorrow we'll step up, probably during the Chief game. Stay tuned. I'll let you know in the morning or in the afternoon there on Patreon. I'll post all the best props for the games tomorrow. We appreciate your patronage. Good Friday night show here tonight. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Other than that, you're on your own. May the winners be yours and mine later.